Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the Big Movement Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about what does your customer want to buy? When every entrepreneur starts their journey saying, I'm going to go into business for myself, they start listening to their friends, people who have, quote unquote, gone into business for themselves. And typically, what they say is, you should do something you're passionate about. Well, granted, it's important that we do something we love. It is not the first thing that we do as part of this process in order to build a business. We actually have to start off with a pre-step. Actually, there's a couple of steps. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to go through these steps so you can gain a better understanding of how do you select a business. But believe it or not, the first thing that you have to look at when you're deciding upon creating a business, it's asking a simple question. What do people want to buy right now and for the foreseeable future? And you might be thinking, but I might not be passionate about it. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how passionate you are about something. If no one wants to buy what you're selling, do you really have a business? And the answer is no. This is why it's so critical that you look at what is going on in the world. What is it that people are pulling their Visa and MasterCards out and saying, I want more of that. I have to have that. That's what makes all the difference. So you need to look at, in the world right now, what are people searching for? What are they looking for in terms of solution to problems they're experiencing? And here's a great story to illustrate the point. Several years ago, I went out to lunch with a friend of mine and said, oh, you've got to check out this one restaurant. You know, they really could use some help. And like, okay, sure, I'll go take a look at this place. And I thought it was a quaint little place. It was a quote-unquote like 1950s style diner where they're trying to renovate this older building, have this look and feel where, you know, like the typical soda fountain place with the classic type furniture, the menu and such. And I looked around, and it's granted, this is the lunchtime, where other restaurants in this area, they're full. Hardly a single person was here. And I sat there and started thinking, well, why is it that this place isn't that busy? Well, you know, you look around at all the other places. They're offering healthier choices, a wide variety. But this place, all the food that was there is things that people could have anytime they wanted. There was nothing special about it. There's no draw to it. And, you know, that's why I tell my friends, there's really nothing they can do here. They'd have to scrap their whole idea because people are not buying the solution they're offering. And guess what happened? Within 6 months, that restaurant had closed because they didn't start off with asking a simple question. What is it that people want to buy? And in today's world, it's now more important than ever to understand this before you even look at what type of business you want to create. Because if people are not interested in it, you're never going to have any customers. It doesn't matter the volume of passion. You can have so much passion in the world that you are like just like glowing with it. And people are like going, wow, you are passionate. But, you know, there's a lot of passionate people that don't have two nickels to rub together because the business they've put together, it doesn't generate sales. So you have to look at how do you determine this? And there's a very simple process that we're going to go through that's going to help you decide on if a business is worth considering. So it begins with just a simple search query, nothing that's difficult. So what you do is think about what are the keywords, what are the things that people would search for if they were to look for the solution that you have in mind. You know, if they're going to Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine of their choice, they say, well, I'm going to type in XYZ, and I want to see what's there. So what you're going to do with this list of keywords that you create, so you want to make several, not just one, because one doesn't tell you that much of anything. You're going to take this list of keywords, and you're going to actually use Google's keyword planner. Why? Because you want to see if there are ads running, because it's a very great sign to see if does this business even make logical sense to put something out there. Because if an advertiser is spending money on something, that's a clue. That means it's generating sales. So within Google, what you're going to be looking for, are there actual searches going on right now? And not just that. You want to make sure they're sizable. Not like, well, there's 10 searches for this. Well, that's really not going to do any good. You want to see like 1,000, 2,000 or whatever, especially in your local area, that people are looking for this. But here's the other thing you want to look for. You want to see, well, what's the value being assigned to the search? And is it $5, $10, or whatever it's going to be? So you want to look to say, well, oh, okay, so there's actually dollars being associated with it. That's a positive sign. The next thing you want to do is actually go on over to your favorite search, like to Google. We use that as an example here. So you go and open up a browser window, and you're going to type in that keyword. You're going to want to look to see what type of ads are there, how many ads, because the more ads are like, oh, that means, let's say there's 4 ads there right now, and this is as of currently of how Google has it. If things are really doing well, there's going to be 4 ads at the top. Well, if there are ads there, well, that means this is a good sign. And you want to see, well, what are they offering? What are they specifically selling to people? Take a look at their pages where they're sending traffic to. Look to see what the offers are. Because this is going to tell you, does this make logical sense to put any money into? This is what you want to start with, because it's going to have all the things that you're looking for. Because if there's no existing products on the marketplace, well, unless you happen to be the first person to ever come up with the idea, then you are going to have a harder time. So if you see that, oh, there's other advertisers there, that's great. Or if you, depending on if it's a local business, oh, there's local businesses showing up in the map section on the search. Great. That means people are buying it. So that is the first check mark in terms of this list that you want to create for yourself as a sanity test. Like, oh, before I even decide if I really like it, I want to see if people really buy the stuff. So look for these things. Because if people are paying money to promote their businesses, you're in great shape. Because you have to remember, established businesses are not going to, unless they just have no idea what they're doing, and hopefully not, that they're not going to spend money on something that does not win. They're not going to put money into ads if they don't have a product that people are buying. Because that's kind of like fixing the Titanic. Like, it's just a little leak. Let's just throw some spackle up on it. It'll be fine. No, they're not going to do that. So this is what you want to be looking for. So what I challenge you today is look at your business and see, what are people actually doing? Are they buying? Are they searching for this? And then next week, we're going to dive in a couple other areas in terms of how do you see how big the marketplace is? What's the demand for it? What's the possibilities? And so you can start looking at, well, does this really make sense for me to go after or not? So we'll talk more about that next week. But until then, take a look and see, are you really marketing a product that people are buying? Because the more people want to buy your product, the better off you're going to do in business. So with that, go out there and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.